Namaste, my name is Dhieyo and welcome to my channel. Every piece of technology needs to be rebooted from time to time, or let's call it restart. Restart is a command that you give for that piece of technology to be rebooted for all the new that now you want it to do for you. Can you imagine if you don't do that to your laptop? Can you imagine if you don't do that to your phone from time to time? What can happen with that piece of technology? You want the best from it, but it's just not giving you the best anymore. This is when things start hanging, things don't move forward. This is exactly what is happening with our life. When we are not rebooting this highest piece of technology, which is called a human suit or a human body, is how people call it. It's the highest piece of technology. It is a projector to project or experience everything that we are experiencing. When I say we, I mean our soul. Our soul is in this piece of projector, which from time to time it needs to be rebooted, and I'll tell you why. Every time, all our spiritual practices that we are doing, constantly all of us are looking for something new. We call it manifestation, we call that experience. We are doing various different practices for it, but the main thing, are we rebooting this body? Are we restarting this entire body? No, we are not. Let's say going for a vacation, let's say going for a massage, let's say having a nice nap, or just chilling at the beach or in the mountains, going for a walk, which may make you feel good, but is that called rebooting? Is that going to give all the new that now you are looking for, that you are working so hard towards manifesting? No, that's not what you call rebooting. Then what is rebooting? In the ancient time, this practice was brilliant, but over a period of time, this brilliant practice, like I always say, every time the matrix wants to mislead us to something, it will take that practice, it will take that knowledge and it will turn it into something else, so that people are still doing it, but they don't know why they're doing it. They're still doing it, but they're doing it absolutely wrong. This practice in today's time is what we call dance. Dance. Can you imagine? Something so simple, we've seen everyone do it, we've done it. You have to be something really going wrong in your life if you say, I've never danced. You've at least just bobbed your head sometime or the other. This dance is the biggest spiritual practice to reboot this body for all the new, for this projector to start projecting that we want it to project. The house you want, the car you want, the love you want, the peace you want, the health you want, the marriage you want, the money you want. This body suit, which is a projector, needs to be rebooted, and a dance is how it was always done, and I'll tell you why. It's not just any dance, it's a spiritual dance. There's a lot of difference between a regular dance, your hip hop, your jazz, your ballet, your Indian classical, any other form of dance. There's a huge difference between that and a spiritual dance. Like I said, the matrix will always use this knowledge and turn it into something else, and I'll tell you how it happened. But first, let's figure out what this projector is. Let's figure out what this body suit is, why it needs to be rebooted. We are made entirely, all of this, of billions of atoms. These atoms from time to time need to be rebooted, need to be recharged, so that collectively they are working together into projecting what we need to project. Not just projecting, but experiencing it, touching it, smelling it. That car you want, that house you want, the health you want, the partner that you want. All these five senses, these billions of atoms that we are made of, needs to be rebooted, needs to be restarted. So now let's say this body, everything that it knows is what the matrix tells us. Even our name is given to us by somebody from this matrix who decided what the name should be. This hand action that you see me doing right now, the words coming out, is also a part of what this matrix wants it to be, how it is conditioned to be. So for that programming to be broken, a dance was what in the ancient time our ancient ancestors would always do. But at that time, there was no African dance or an Indian dance or let's say a Native American dance or any other culture dance that now we try to copy those dances. At that time, they were just freely doing whatever they were doing. Because now they are trying to break every action that regularly we are doing. They are trying to break free from all of it, so that now it is not a material experience, it is not an experience of this matrix, it is a spiritual experience, because now you're just letting the soul decide what it needs to do with this body. There is no restrictions to it, there is no form to it, there is no name to it. They just go berserk, dancing, moving their head, stamping their feet. You can't just keep stamping your feet and forget about this part of those atoms. There are billions of atoms here also. Are you bobbing your head enough? No, but now you will. You should. So this is what you call a spiritual dance, when you can just go wild with your dance, move your head, move your hand, move your body, stamp your feet, jump, do whatever you need to do, as long as it is breaking free from all the limitations that this body has been programmed for, conditioned for. Free spirited, we always say free spirited. This is what free spirited dance is. Dance like not nobody is watching, but everyone should be watching. That's how it turns into, oh, that's the African culture dance, let's do that. Or that's the Native American, or that's the Bollywood dance, or that's the Indian classical dance. No, but you will form your own dance. You will form your own dance. So right now, even if you, let's say, are inspired by the Native American dance culture or the African culture dance, the way they dance, enjoy it, watch it, but make sure you have your own movement to it. Make sure you do your own thing to it. Make sure you bob your head in another way altogether. That'll be your atoms need those. Otherwise, you're again doing something else, what somebody is working for somebody else. So wild, free, spirited, spiritual dance is how we reboot these billions of atoms into now for it to project the new that we want it to do. This is why sometimes when you're doing all the practices you're doing, you're following it, your manifestation practices are brilliant, everything's going great, but have we rebooted this entire body system, this entire projector? That's why I stop calling it a body and you start calling it a projector. Life becomes much more easier. These practices start making sense then. So in our culture, every culture, today, even if you go for an Indian wedding or Indian, let's say the most famous wedding that happened right now, which was the Ambani's wedding, if you haven't seen it, see the way everyone was dancing in that. In our wedding, when a groom goes to a bride's house, that entire distance, they go dancing, they go celebrating. So see, watch that, go on any of your social media platform and just put in Ambani's wedding. Bharat is what we call it. Bharat is that procession that goes from a groom's house to the girl's destination where they're going to be getting married, so that now everyone is dancing, everyone celebrating, everyone is breaking free from all the stress they have, the limitations they have, because now it's a big moment, a union is happening. So let's celebrate everything new. The same thing, we do this in our culture. We've got so many festivals, so many gods, so many festivals. Every time the god comes to a house, we bring him dancing. Every time the god leaves, when we got to go immerse the god in the ocean or in the river or in the sea, or in today's time in a homemade pond, every time we are going for that immersion, we are again dancing, because now we want all the old to go so the new can come in. People for sure are dancing, people for sure are celebrating in weddings and for festivals and for every other occasion, but do they know why they are doing it? Hopefully now they will. So now when you dance, you could dance in your house, put on your music or without any music. Make sure it is something wild, it is crazy, it is free. When I have my students who come and live with me on the farm, when I make them dance, initially nobody is dancing, they're like, oh my god, we know what we can do, but you know, they're all those hip hops and jazz and classical dance, and no, just break free from all of that. Initially they laugh. I said, great, you need to laugh, because then again these billions of atoms, there's a different change to it coming. But once they break free, life is new for all of them. So now you don't need to come to me in the forest, you need to be in your house, in your space. Just break free, be wild, be free, be spiritual, do a spiritual dance, and all new is going to come into your life. I guarantee you that. If you like this video, dance. Subscribe to my channel, dance. Until I see you again, keep dancing, have fun. Namaste.